Dispatch. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity to contribute to this bill. The Speaker, I want to begin by saying, the Speaker, that a very important call has come through for all of us, as senators in this chamber. The Speaker, it is a call to make a choice between moving this country to confront the challenges that we face together, or profile this country as a patchwork of winning communities and losing communities, Mr. Speaker. And that this is not the first time that this call is coming through, Mr. Speaker. This call came through last year, and we demonstrated as a House that we have what it takes to put Kenya first and ensure a win-win outcome for purposes of the sharing of revenue among counties. The Speaker, I have taken a lot of time to go through both the report and the bill. And the Speaker, I want to begin my contribution on this confusion arising around the popular initiative as captured in section 257 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I have heard very distinguished colleagues, most of them lawyers, including, and Madam Speaker, I would request that the Senator of Kitui be adding something.
Let's consult in low tones. Other members, let's consult in low tones.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I said I have had conversations among my colleagues on the matter of this being a popular initiative. And that, Mr. Speaker, no less than the chair of the co-chair of the joint committee went on record and said that the committee really agonized over whether really this was a popular initiative and how to deal with the bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to go on record that, the Speaker, the body, the spirit, the mind, the soul of this document, the bill, is executive. That I must go on record. And then, Mr. Speaker, what has happened is that this bill has been clothed with our Wanjigo dress. When it speaks, you realize that's not Wanjigo's voice. It's a strong, heavy voice. This is an executive initiative. Let's just admit that and then process it as such. The Speaker, having said that, I want to say that the proponents of this bill, and the committee has captured it very well, I've said that some 29 or so counties should have additional constituencies, but an expert opinion from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics has brought evidence before the Joint Committee, and it is captured in the report, that 6 counties, including Meru, Kitui, Bungoma, Homa Bay, Kisii, and Nairobi City County have been unjustifiably denied additional constituencies. The Speaker, that having been captured in the report as a submission by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the committee has taken the next bold step, and they have gone on record and said that the omission of constituencies and the allocation of those constituencies in the counties is unconstitutional. Mr. Speaker, I have a small challenge, Mr. Speaker. When the committee in their report tell us that we should go ahead and pass the bill, and my challenge is simple, Mr. Speaker. When the chairman of the co-chair of the joint committee stood here, he admitted that there are even typographical errors, reference errors. And I heard the co-chair, Mr. Speaker, to my dismay, asking and pleading to be allowed to harmonize the errors. And the question that I'm asking myself, Mr. Speaker, is who is supposed to give us the permission to do our work? Because, Mr. Speaker, the people of Kenya, under Article 1 of the Constitution, have delegated their legislative sovereignty and authority to us, the elected leaders. Yes, the people of Kenya, through collection of signatures and views, have said what it is that they want to be done on this document. But, Mr. Speaker, as a House of Parliament, and I'm very sure the executive must be very happy to hear senators and members of the National Assembly seeking permission from I don't know who to do their job. Mr. Speaker, we have a bill before us. The processing of the bill is captured both in the Constitution and in our own standing orders, Mr. Speaker. And I will propose that, Mr. Speaker, that we debate this bill with a very open mind of correcting the mistakes and the wrongs that have been committed in this bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to continue by saying that to the extent, the Speaker, and arguments have flown across here. Some senators have said that they are more than senators of their counties. Others have said that their first recourse is to their counties. Mr. Speaker, I want to go on record and say that the only reason that I am here is because the great people of Kitui County gave me the mandate to represent them and their interests in this Senate. And so, Mr. Speaker, when the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the legal and legitimate body that is a custodian of population data, says that Kitui County should have been given an additional constituency, when the report of the Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee captures that in their final report, the Speaker, I will look very, very foolish, and I have no intention of looking foolish, to stand against such a verdict. The Speaker, I stand here to say that the second schedule of the bill, page 26, 27, and 28, the Speaker, creates unnecessary confusion, and as a House of Parliament, we should be able to expurge the second schedule from this bill and leave the IEBC to do the work of allocating constituencies in counties using the parameters as set out in the Constitution. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, that's a bit baffling about this bill is that the bill, Mr. Speaker, seeks to amend the Constitution 2010. A constitution that is living, a constitution that we are using to govern this country. A bill seeks to amend the Constitution. But we are being told, Mr. Speaker, and I don't know who is saying this, that we cannot amend that bill that seeks to amend the Constitution. The Speaker, that sounds very, very absurd to me, and I want to go on record and say that to the extent, Mr. Speaker, that Schedule 2 continues to be part of this bill, that schedule that denies my county an extra constituency, to the extent that we don't have that extra constituency, Mr. Speaker, as the Senator of Kitui County, I will oppose this bill. Mr. Speaker, there is the issue of the Kenya National Police Service Commission and the Office of the Inspector General of Police. The Speaker, some of these things are just self-explanatory. Article 245 and 246 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, establish and define the roles and responsibilities of both the National Police Service Commission and the Office of the Inspector General of Police. The Speaker, an attempt under Clause 66 and 67 of the proposed bill to transfer the roles and functions of the National Police Service Commission to the Office of the Inspector General of Police, the Speaker, it's an attempt to create a police state, Mr. Speaker, that you remove power and functions from a commission and you put it in the office of an individual, Mr. Speaker. To the extent that that matter, Mr. Speaker, remains in this bill, I have a problem with that. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the judiciary, and that has been ably canvassed by the legal scholars in this House, including the co-chair, Senator Omogeni. The Speaker, there exists a procedure to discipline judges in the judiciary. That procedure, Mr. Speaker, is clearly stated in the Constitution and includes the appointment of a tribunal when it comes to the removal of a judge from office, for whatever reason, Mr. Speaker. Now, this idea that we will now have a judiciary ombudsman appointed by the President, approved by the Senate, and that office has powers to remove, to dismiss a judge by passing a tribunal, Mr. Speaker, is a serious affront to the independence of the judiciary. As a Speaker, there will be need to analyze this document to ensure, the Speaker, that much as we want to change the Constitution to reflect the current needs and aspirations of the people of Kenya, the Speaker, it will not be done at the expense of whittling down the powers and responsibilities of certain arms of government, and, Mr. Speaker, enriching the powers and responsibilities of other arms of government. Mr. Speaker, the country is watching us today. Kenyans want to know at the end of the day, what is it that we are going to do to make their lives better through this bill? The initiative, Mr. Speaker, and I must go on record on this, the initiative, Mr. Speaker, could be noble. And it is an initiative to expand the executive and create positions of authority and influence to ensure that no part of this country feels left out in government. It's a noble thing to do. The Speaker, the initiative of ensuring that we have 35% of revenues collected nationally shared among counties is a noble idea, Mr. Speaker. Only that we may need to do a lot more in terms of administrative and policy interventions to bake a bigger cake so that we have that 5% to share among counties. But it's a noble idea, Mr. Speaker. The idea about a World Development Fund, so that decisions on development of roads is not a decision of the governor. It is legislated. That, Mr. Speaker, is a noble idea. Mr. Speaker, the only thing that I have a problem with is a situation where, Mr. Speaker, amidst all these very good things that we want to do, there seems to be some mischief in trying, Mr. Speaker, and this must be said as it is, to allocate constituencies in certain areas in this country to the disadvantage of certain other areas in this country. Mr. Speaker, the import of this bill is that we are going to have at least 40 new constituencies in Mount Kenya region. And there's no problem with that, Mr. Speaker. But seeing as it were that, Mr. Speaker, out of 70 constituencies, 40 of them are going into one region. And the rest of the country has got to grapple and share the remaining 30. Mr. Speaker, that is not right. And what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, it will be right that, Mr. Speaker, we allow the IEBC to use whatever parameters they are going to use to ensure that the distribution and the sharing and the allocation of these constituencies is acceptable across the board.
I'm just getting a point of use your Takamata, you know how to catch my eye. You don't shout.
Speaker,
is it a point of order? Yes. Okay. That's a point of order.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the Honorable Mr. Speaker, sir, is the Honorable Senator in order in saying that the vast majority of the constituencies are going to Mount Kenya region, whereas Nyeri is getting 0, Nyandara is getting 0. Yeah, no, you say that. Nyandara is getting 0, Nyeri is getting 0. Dharakanidi is getting 0, Murang'a is getting 1.
Order, Senator Kamata.
In comparison to places like Kiliki.
Yeah. Hello, order, Senator Kamata. That sounds like a point of disturbance. Continue, Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for pointing out rightly that that was not a point of order. It's a point of disturbance. Mr. Speaker, if Senator Kangata does not know that Nyeri belongs to Mount Kenya region, then I pity the people of Murang'a. Really, I do. Because, Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying is, I'm saying it's a region, it's an entire region getting 40 constituencies. And Mr. Speaker, this matter is not contestable. It is not contestable, Mr. Speaker. It's on record, it is true that 40 new constituencies are being allocated to Mount Kenya region. That's a fact. Mr. Speaker, I need to conclude my submission.
What is your point of order, Senator Murkomen?
Hold my time.
Mr. Speaker, I know you had ruled Senator Kamata that it was a point of disturbance. But Mr. Speaker, being a house of equity, is it in order for Senator Kio of Kitui County to, Mr. Speaker, even though he is making very good points, Mr. Speaker, and I'm the only person who has been stamping my feet to congratulate him for the same, to try to drive his debate, Mr. Speaker, to a direction of us versus them. Yes. When, Mr. Speaker, BBI, even in its principal objective, is to unite the country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, can Senator of Kitui make the case for Kitui without, Mr. Speaker, trying to disenfranchise or compare to any other region, Mr. Speaker? That doesn't sound also like a point of order. That's also not a point of order. We are trying to push a cheeky point. Senator, conclude.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your wisdom and for seeing these attempts, Mr. Speaker. Can I conclude this?
Let's have order. Let him conclude. Let him conclude.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I will advance the cause of my county, Kitui, but not in isolation, Mr. Speaker. We don't live in Ireland, we live among other counties. And I've made my point, Mr. Speaker. What I've said, Mr. Speaker, is that the role of the allocation of constituencies, once we have determined that we want to create 70 or 80 or 100 or 60 constituencies, the role of allocating those constituencies, Mr. Speaker, should revert to the IEBC. Mr. Speaker, that's what I'm saying. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say that, Mr. Speaker, there is too loud consultation.
Let's consult in low tones. Order the Senator's order.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that yes, this bill, the initial attempt at bringing this country together, Mr. Speaker, was a very, very noble attempt. How I pray, Mr. Speaker, that even as we debate and maybe conclude on this bill today, this country will be left a lot more united than when we started. And Mr. Speaker, the only way that we can do that is for every arm of government, including the legislature, to undertake its role and responsibility respectively and respecting, Mr. Speaker, the boundaries that establish responsibilities and roles for other arms of government. Mr. Speaker, this House, the Senate, has distinguished itself, Mr. Speaker, as a house that has been able to crack very, very difficult situations. Now, Speaker, this situation that we face today is not any more difficult than the things that we have dealt with before and dealt with them very, very successfully. As a Speaker, with those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I say, I hope there will be an opportunity.
Order, Senators, there's a lot of murmuring.
Mr. Speaker, I say that I hope there will be an opportunity to be allowed to move amendments so that we can pass this bill. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, if that opportunity is not available,
you are off. Your time is up. You are off. Senator, order. Senator Sakaja.